Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, episode 71. We are one day away from heading to Russia for the Black Sea GP. And we have a new vote of increasing the number of dry tires available, which would make it more realistic to real life. Apparently I'm a team that struggles with tire wear. Actually, not really, but we're still not the best on that. Go ahead and vote for on this one, just for the realism factor, and we'll go quickly through this. And it looks like it's going down in flames. It does. 4 to 6. No change. Now, we are getting desperately close to going broke. We are now down under 10 million as we have 1 day left. I have no new parts in development because of the shortage in funds. So even though we are up to 7th best right now, and we're very much into the midfield in some areas, and we're clawing our way up. At least engine is now 9th instead of 10th. We're still not quite there yet, but we do have a new rear wing ready to go on the car. The two engines that we've developed are both onto the cars. Same with the gearboxes. And we'll have one of those, we'll have our first rear wing ready. We just don't have a second one, so we have to stick with the original one here for now. Also, both engines are getting there on the improvement side of things. I was hoping to get a third sponsor option to show up. I've waited the entire time in between the race to try to sign this because normally you get 3 offers. I only ended up with 2. So here we are. Let's go ahead and take a look, and neither offer is good. Wow. Okay, so for 600,000, 2 races shorter, which really increases the per race, plus you get the bonus, so this is obviously better because 10th or above we can manage. And 2 races fewer definitely makes it worth it. That puts us back above 12 million for now. That's definitely not good. We have another deal coming up. Per race, 400,000 going away. Hopefully we'll get a better deal than that. Here we have up front only, so it'll be nice to replace that one. Okay, so now we at least have some sort of race bonus, and a achievable one at that. That'll help us increase the money lost. And actually, that's already looking a little better than where it was. So we can see we have just 9 tires available right now, so that rule change would have put it to 15. 6 more would have made a huge difference, especially with the 3-part qualifying now. Black Sea, 32 laps on a 2-mile track. Does not churn through tires, though, at least from real life, so there's a decent chance of going on a one-stopper, but we may end up on the mediums, which means we're going to hurt our qualifying chances a little bit with only 3 sets of softs, especially with 1 in practice. It is what it is, though. Now, check the part fitting, see where we're at, because that new rear wing is not on either car, so we'll have to at least add that. Alright, so right now Max has the better brakes. Colton has the better engine. Better front wing for Colton as well. Better gearbox to Max, however, it is ridiculously close. They're essentially identical. And suspension, also identical. Colton has a slight edge on reliability. So Colton has the better parts for a lot of things. Now Max already has the better rear wing. So there we go. We'll just upgrade both of them. It's a little bit closer together now, actually. A lot closer together. We had a jump. There was a 50-point gap between the two, and now the gap is only 10. Plus reliability is up for Max. That's good. Estimated race position, 14th and 13th for Colton. So Colton's slightly better on his car at the moment. Both still outside of the top 10, but our latest part now, onto the car. There are no new parts in development, so at this point we're going to be changing our focus to kind of maximizing everything and getting it topped out. Now let's see if I can turn this down a little. 5 days is fine. 5 days is fine. We'll go with 5 days. There we go. Would like to really start getting the performance side improved a lot more. Okay, so we're looking at dry practice, rainy qualifying, which means it might not even matter that we have the softs if it is raining during qualifying and a rainy race. Okay. So it actually might not even matter which tires we're setting up, depending on that rain. I mean, it's not monsoon weather like the last race. Round 8 of the championship. And once this loads, I'll click off of that real quick. Thank you for the like. Just don't want to interfere with the loading. Okay, there we go. And yes, it did. Alright, so we're set up on hard for now. We have no weather through the first half of practice. Again, it's supposed to be dry, so I'll see if it actually stays dry. It often lies about that. Take all the improvement we can get our hands on there. Okay, so a little bit more improvement for Colton, which means he's definitely got the better car. By a slight margin, but still a better car. I mean, we're adding another 15 points, and he was already slightly better. There is no reason for Colton to finish behind Max. And yet it keeps happening. Alright, looks like we're pretty neutral on things. What was it, 32 lap race? 32? So 16 would make it, so it will take hards, 2 sets of hards, if the rain stays away. So we're definitely going to run the hard compound on both first, just in case it stays dry, or depending on how long it stays dry in the race. Alright, let's go with race trim first. No idea what's going to happen in qualifying. Race trim first. Alright, they both head out. We'll push. Push. And get them both back in quickly. Short lap here. Minute and a half to get around at least without in out of the pits without running a hot lap. Okay, so we are okay, poor, and good, which means we're nowhere near 70%. Let's go with probably more down, lower downforce, bit of understeer on the handling. I'm assuming it's going to go that way, and we'll just take that for the speed balance for now. Max, not really any better. In fact, 1% worse. Of course, it's at that magical number 69 that makes people chuckle and laugh and act like middle schoolers, which, yeah, when you work with middle schoolers, you kind of notice that a little bit more. Funny thing is, my wife wears that number for soccer, but it has nothing to do with the reason why people chuckle. It has to do with her birthday. June 9. As in, 6, 9. Okay, well, we made progress on 2 out of 3. Only 4% overall, but obviously downforce needs to go much higher. And then we went from poor to good. So we need the handling to go the other way. And we went from... yeah, that's not good. Wrong way. That's not going to be far enough, I don't think, but we'll have to make do with that. Max, similar minor progress. Very poor. No, that's way too far. That's probably good. Okay, so poor, good. This is going to go right over towards the edge. And we did the same thing here. We're okay, great. Okay, neither car is ready to go for a long stint, so we will continue on in our current pattern. Round and round we go. %. Downforce spot on, that helps. Speed balance is close. We're still just good. How do you go that far of a spread and stay at good? There's no way great and excellent are in between those. And same with the great. That's an awfully big window. At 95%, we can't be that far off. So this has got to be a percentage point or two away from excellent. So I'm going to actually just try this subtle change. Because it's only on good, and I'm not sure that this is even the right direction, I'm still not going to make a long run. We'll go one more lap out there. We've gone too far. 95%. It's weird how close both of them are. That's rare. And for us to go from okay to very poor to excellent, that's crazy that I locked in like that. So good, great, good, great. It's close. And it really could go either way. And we were great, and now we're only good. So we need to come back. And let's go... no, wrong way. This way. Yeah, we'll try that. Again, still not sure if we're going the right way, if we're making the right choice here, so both of them one and done laps. Still in testing mode. We still have 15 minutes left, so there's plenty of time, and the setup is quite close to getting locked down, so we should still be able to get all of the bonuses that we want. Race Trim 2 has been unlocked, as well as Hard Compound 2. Yeah, it's still not there. 98% now. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe a little more. Is that, let's see. Good, good, great. I'm guessing we might have gone too far on the speed balance part, though. That's my guess. That's my guess. Excellent was just in that little bucket. I mean, we are at 98% after all. Subtle changes. Subtle changes. You are close enough. We're going to try to run long enough to finish off the triple bonus, which won't be long. Engine overtake. '97. Just the handling is off now. Or were we at 95? With quite a difference, which means I think the handling went the wrong way. I think the handling needs to go right to the edge. Let's go ahead and make the switch. Qualifying. Soft. As close as we are, and Herda with full tank of fuel, he will get there easily. Max will get us a head start. Okay, just about there. Herda, oh, he just passed pit road. There we go, level 3 unlocked. Bring it home. Okay. 16th fastest at the moment, but of course that was on used hard tires with a heavy load of fuel. Only pushing the engine. And 97. Okay, so what did we do different? We found excellence here, but we went the wrong way on the speed balance. So we need the speed balance to go a little bit higher. And then we're going to set him up for qualifying now. And soft tire. Alright, now they're both going to run for a while. Finally, somebody off the hard compound running. Verstappen, Herda, both moving up the standings a bit. Just running neutral here with heavier loads of... By the way, we are... how close? Close. We're close. 99%. Triple excellent. Perfect. Well, almost perfect. 100% is perfect. We'll send you back out to finish this off. 7 minutes left. Looks like tires, at least the softs, run a little cool. There is that final bonus. Herda on his way in. Yeah, and triple excellent. Nice. Okay. 100%. 100%. Okay. You're not going back out. You're dead. Bonus already? Well, then come on in. You're all bonused up. They could go after the medium tire, but what's the purpose? We're not going to get a third level of bonus. So we got a 100%, we got a 99%, we've got 6 purple smiley faces. We've got 4 purple bonuses. And we did it with plenty of time to spare. Could have tried to get one more, a 5th purple bonus with the medium tires. There wasn't enough time. I don't think we would have gotten to purple. We would have gotten to blue, probably a level 2 bonus. But we wouldn't have gotten level 3, which would have meant I wouldn't want to use it in the race. We're probably going to go out on the hard tire and try to last as long as we can until the rain comes. What makes me nervous is I really only want to use one set of soft tires in qualifying because I want to save one for the race. I almost want to save 2 for the race because if the rain comes in the middle of the race, you start on soft tires, a short time frame, depending on what the weather report says, and then it starts raining, we switch to intermediates or wets. If it dries out before the end of the race, we're going to use whatever is the best tire compound at the end, which could end up being the soft tire again. Now, if the rain holds out or just makes the track damp, then 2 sets of hard tires gets us all the way to the end of the race. So I want to save both of those, but I won't need 3 sets of mediums. I might need 1. I might need 2. So I have 1 set of mediums that I think I could get away with using in qualifying. And I'm nervous about using 2 sets of softs. I mean, maybe 1 set of softs, 1 set of mediums at my disposal, and that's it. Oh, and it's raining anyway. So we're not going to be on any of those tires, that's right. We'll see if it dries out, though. It's only damp. Ooh, okay. And it's going to dry out at about 5 minutes. So, yeah, they're both on softs. Let's keep the soft bonus and the qualifying bonus. And it looks like it's going to dry out halfway through. Means we're going to stay put. In the garage. So we're staying in the garage for now until things dry out. Yes, track grip is going to start increasing at about the 5-minute mark. So let's speed things up. These guys, wet track, they're going to have slow times. It's already back down to damp as it's just sprinkling. And yes, it looks like it's going to be dry to the end. Still damp. Still damp. Okay, it's drying out. It's drying out. It's drying out. And there we go. Track grip just starting to show up. Ooh, it's going to start raining right at the end again. So we don't want to be out there still at the end. We've got 51-second time. We want to be on our hot lap at about the 2-minute mark just to make sure that it's not raining in the middle of our lap. There's not going to be much grip, but at least it's some and the track's dry. So that means 2-minute mark is when I want to be out there really with both cars, just staggered slightly. So that means we need to go out at 3 minutes. And maybe one of these guys slightly before that. Colton, I'm going to put my faith in you this time. Their form is very similar, 6.0, 6.2. So Max, we're going to go at about 3:15. So I'm going to send Max out there at 3:15. We'll set him to auto. Alright, 3:15, 99%. Tire choice, 1 set of softs. But I kind of want to go on mediums and see what we can do. Save the softs for the next round. No, not for the next round. I want to get out of the first round, get into the top 15, and then next round not get in the top 10. That's kind of my goal. Get somewhere between 11 and 15. So we'll use the softs now. Alright, so 3 minutes is when I want to send out Colton. But I might take a couple more seconds here. Couple more seconds. Come on, Max. Let me set you to auto. There we go. Auto on. And there we go. Ooh. That Renault, are you on your way in or out? Okay, they're on their way in. But we do have somebody. Max Verstappen, it looks like. No. Max is my teammate. Duh. What are we doing here? We are heating up the tires. Not heating up the brakes, heating up the tires. There we go. Tire temps getting up there now. Alright, tire temp's perfect. Brakes slightly overheated. Max already on his lap. Let's check in with him. He's already through the first sector. He's got a Ferrari on his tail. Hopefully he can keep them at bay. He's only 0.2 of a second off the top right now. 0.2 of a second after sector 2. He does get passed by the Ferrari right there. That's going to hurt a little bit. That's Charles Leclerc. 9th fastest now. 1.1. He lost almost a full second in the final sector. Herta, oh, and here comes that rain a little early. Herta is going to be faster. He did not get held up by a Ferrari in the final sector. Verstappen did. He lost time there for sure. And Max might be out because Gata is all purples. Max is going to be in P16. I mean, at least if you're going to miss, at least you only miss by a very small margin. At least he's 16th. The Renault's at the back, Prima in front of them, so he's ahead of those slower cars. Force Indias he should be ahead of, but again, he lost a full second as that Ferrari made their way around. That was Leclerc. Leclerc lost some time too. I mean, you can see Leclerc is 0.4 of a second off his teammate, so he lost time, but then once he made the pass, we lost time. We had to go wide on that final turn. We had to check out of it. So Max, unfortunately, could not get a clean lap in. But at least it's 16th and not 20th or 19th or something like that. So if you're going to get eliminated in Q1, and that does save tires for him. Colton, we're going to come out on mediums here. We're going to save those softs for the race, which means he's probably going to be P15. It'll be nice if you can get a little bit higher than that, maybe 13th. He was 11th in the first session. Wait, what am I doing? Dry track. Cancel. Only running 1 lap. Alright, we watch the weather report as it develops. Make sure it's going to stay dry. If we notice rain, and it's going to get wet. Slow down, slow down. Okay, it's going to get rain at 6 minutes, which means we need to go out at 8, and it's already that time. Let's go. Mediums. Alright, he should have some clean air. There goes the McLaren, and then we've got plenty of space back to, I think, Gata, who's actually heading into the pits, so there you go. Okay, perfect on the tire temps, a little bit overheated. Let's ride on board here as he goes quickly through the lap. ×2 on this one. His form stayed the same. He is 0.3 of a second, not as fast as Max was. Max was nearly purple. 0.8 of a second. He's so much slower than Max, even though he's at 20. I don't understand that. 1.4. Well off the pace. That's the medium tires for you. That's very much 15th. So we're going to start in P15, P16. I don't want to risk getting into the top 10 and getting stuck on those tires for the race. And here comes that rain, so no times are going to change from here. We got what we got. And there's the rain already, so no chance, even if I wanted to put on softs, wouldn't make a difference. And see everybody who's trying to put in a lap. They're all white in every sector. Lando Norris fastest here in Q2. Got it as second fastest. Newgarden third fastest. Force Indias. Both eliminated along with the two Williams. Not worried about the time gap just because we went out on mediums. Yeah, see, I don't get why Herta does so much worse than Max Verstappen. He's 20s in everything. And I've got two drivers that are technically perfect. It should come down to the car. And right now, Colton's got the better car. He got into this qualifying session not based on pace, but based on the fact that he didn't get held up like Max did. Max had a much, much better time and easily would have been top 10 in Q1. Alright, top 10 shootout. Q3. And it is dry, so these guys are going to have to stay on these tires, which now it's wet. Oh, they might not have to stay on the tires. Plus, if it's starting out raining tomorrow, they won't have to. I'm guessing they're not going to get forced to stay on tires because they all just finished their last run on intermediates. And the track is soaked. Gata is on pole, though, so fastest in Q1 and Q3. Lando Norris misses out by a very, very small margin, 17 thousandths of a second. Schumacher, not far behind that. Margasov well behind teammate throughout qualifying. And splitting the two Ferraris. You got the McLarens with the two Red Bulls, in Toro Rossos in between. Not a great qualifying spot, but realistically it's pretty much where the car is, and it looks like we're starting damp. Is it damp or wet? I don't know yet. It's definitely not pouring. It's just damp. And it's not going to rain for long. And it's staying dry enough. It is staying dry enough. We do not need to put on wet tires, which means we could end up on hards with a one-stopper for the whole race. Which means we are definitely going with the hard tire and race trim bonus. We will definitely take that 30% overall bonus. We already saw from Herta's qualifying that just the difference between the softs and the mediums is about 0.4 of a second a lap. That's going to absolutely add up over time. Now the hards are going to be even slower. How slow? Hard to say. We can get a little bit of a guesstimate here. This was very worn by this point. 53.5. The softs. There you go. 50.9 with low fuel load. I mean, we're talking about 2.5 seconds a lap difference. However, this was still the full load. Yes, Herta went out. No, we switched him at that point, actually. Not a huge difference. 0.7 of a second. I mean, you add that up over... Well, they're not going to be on softs the entire race anyway, right? They're 7 laps, and then they have to pit. So 7 laps times 0.7. I mean, we're talking about 5 seconds. But here was that difference, right? I mean, you can see during qualifying when they're really, really pushing, we're talking about 0.4 of a second, which means it's probably got to be more. I mean, we're talking closer to a second a lap. But that's 7 seconds lost, and you're going to gain a lot more than that in the pits. Fewer stops. If they're all making 2+ stops, we're picking up 20-something seconds in there. If they're putting on mediums, we're only losing half a second a lap there. So we're not even losing as much. So I think the one-stopper is absolutely the way to go here. Plus track position, right? They're behind you on a faster tire. They've got to get around you. Easier said than done. Alright, so we're taking our chances that the track's going to stay dry enough. It does look like that'll be the case. So we are in Sochi. And yes, they are unlocked. And ooh, these guys are all on intermediates. The top 10 are all on fresh intermediates. And the back 10, mostly on hards. Except for Ocon, who's on mediums. Oh, this is going to be an interesting race. Let's get to it. 5 red lights here in Russia for the Grand Prix. Starting from 15th and 16th on the grid. Herta gets a good start. Verstappen a little bit slow. Herta's gained 1 position already. Max loses 1. And we've got the inside track coming up here. Herta gets to the inside. 3 wide here and up to P11 at the moment. Max regaining his position back to where he started in P16. We're on the inside again. 3 wide, 4 wide for a second there. At the moment, looking good in P11. Those on the intermediates, it's just damp, so those on the intermediates should be slower. So we should be able to continue to make our way through the field. Ocon all the way up to 4th place already on those medium tires. Sainz is in 8th. We are 12th. Track is damp, and yet some cars are getting around us at the moment. Not sure quite how they're pulling that off. They have more power than we do. That could be it. Ooh, through the middle. And let's see, when and where do we want to use front stretch? Of course. So P14, enough power. Can you? Ooh, that used everything to get up to P13 there. I don't like that. 30 laps remaining, still just damp. It is going to pick up a little bit. Those intermediates will do well. Surprising that they're actually still doing well right now. Track damp, they should not be this fast. Should take a wet track for them to get the benefit of the intermediates. Max is in P17 at the moment. ERS helps get him up to P16 at the end of the lap there. So we run in 13th and 16th right in the middle of the pack. The intermediates are all right in front of us other than Sainz and Ocon. Sandwiched a few spots higher than where we're at. And we're still just damp. Once we get wet, the intermediates will have the advantage. They shouldn't have the advantage right now, so I'm really surprised that they're still running in the position they are. They should be slower. Okay, we're going to speed this lap up as we sit in these positions. The tires, the nice thing here is we're able to push and keep the tires cool. Still damp. 27 laps remaining. We are already halfway through this storm. Oh, it's going to rain again. It is going to rain again, so the track is not going to fully dry out. It's amazing, though, that the intermediates and the hard tires are staying with one another. You can see the mediums are a little bit faster, as Ocon is the only one now, as Sainz drops down to 12th. So that is Carlos Sainz ahead of us in the Williams. get around him. I tried to stop that sooner than I did. Didn't happen though. So P12, P16. And we are now the fastest of all the hard compounds as Ocon drops back. Again, I'm still confused by this, but it looks like it's going to get a bit more wet next time. So we might finish the race on intermediates after these tires wear out. So P12, P16, and we are going to push here. And there we go, P15 as we get around Nordstrom. Herta still in P12. It is now Ocon ahead of him, so all the intermediates running in the top 10, which means the original top 10 drivers are all back where they started in the top 10. And we've got some challengers here as Carlos Sainz gets back around, and Harold trying to make a move as well. Will defend this one. There we go. And yes, the track is going to be wet enough for intermediates next time, and we'll probably take those till the end of the race depending on how wet the track's going to be. We're at the height of that dampness now. The intermediates are not lasting as long. You can see that those guys will need to pit before much longer, another lap or two, so they will not make it on a one-stopper. That is good news for us. Also, the tire heating as we continue to push, looking a little bit better as we now sit in P13, P16. Downside is we are outside of the points. But the good side is all of these guys are looking like they are going to need a couple stops because the track will call for intermediates a little bit later. It looks like there's not much of a difference between... Ooh, see, there you go. Mick Schumacher coming out on mediums as he's pitting now. Get a run on the Williams, and we get around. We're up to P12. Schumacher actually out in front of us. So the front 5-6 cars are definitely faster than everybody else. Sadly, with the pit window the way it is, they're going to stay ahead, it looks like. Track is drying out, and it's going to stay dry for a while. So those intermediates those guys are going to lose time if they stay on the track. Whoa, boy, that ERS makes a big difference. Carlos Sainz flies around us there. Lap 12, we're at 28% on the tire wear. I want to get at least to lap 16. However, those intermediates aren't going to make it all the way if we just go lap 16. And it looks like it will be wet enough, so I'm going to have to try to stay on these tires for a while, which means I probably need to go down to neutral for a little bit, which means we're going to be a little slower. But if we're going to make this one-stopper work with intermediates at the other end, we're going to have our work cut out for us. Max is actually going backwards here. Herta is up to P5, but it's that a bunch of cars are in between us. Newgarden, Norris, Margashov all in between us. These intermediates are slow now. Those guys who have stayed out are losing a lot of time. Max in P5. The Ferrari is much faster, but we're going to be able to stay ahead for now. And they'll get around him here. At some point we're going to have to save some fuel, but just a half a lap shy right now is not bad. We will have to save that before too much longer, though. Really got to keep an eye on things. We're down to 17%. You don't hit the cliff until, what is it, 10% on the hards, or is it 5%? I forget. But it's lap 15 now. Lap 15. P6, P10. Now the positions that we're hanging onto right now are essentially positions we'll hold later, because all of these cars are going to have to stop again. Track mostly dry right now, mostly dry, but we will switch to intermediates when we pit. But I'm really trying to stretch how long that is. It is now lap 16. This is the point where I would love to pit and put on another set of hard tires. But again, the intermediates won't go 16 laps. And we're going to need intermediates. So we need to try to make it about 2... We're not going to make 2 more laps. We are not going to make 2 more laps, are we? We're down to 6%. Shoot. Do I put on softs and attack until... Yeah, intermediates aren't going to make it 16 laps, and if we don't pit now, we are going to lose a ton of time. We're not going to make 2 more laps on these tires. They are at their limit. We have enough of a gap where we could double stack. This just means a full extra pit stop, sadly. Okay. No, just push. I'm glad I saved that extra set of tires because we need them, sadly. Oh, I did not want to make a 2-stopper. I was you heard me. I was fully committed to making the 1-stopper work, but it's not going to work. It is not going to work. We will not make it. They're both hitting 5% right now. They're going to lose a ton of time and maybe have a blowout as we hit 0%. Okay, Herda is in and out. Max is in and out. They both made it work. Now, we're going to push for a few laps here on the soft tires. So the good news is we'll have some pace. The bad news is we are down to P13 and P15, and we're all going to have to stop again. Now Nordstrom, Nakashita, Diaz Sanchez already on intermediates. They're not going to make it the race distance on those tires. Also, the track is way too dry right now. Yes, the rain has already started again. But we need to attack for a little bit here, so attack we will. It's not yet time. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. It is wet till the end of the race. It is going to be wet till the end of the race. Again, the gap is large enough between the 2 cars. I'm going to go 1 more lap. And we're going to attack. Don't crash, guys. Please don't crash. The track's still damp. Could we go 1 more? Oh, it's just turning to wet right now. Go ahead and attack. One more lap. That'll ensure the intermediates will make it to the end. Boy, the car's not holding up terribly well, is it? Both cars are hurting a bit. Oh, I've got some ERS here. Max is going to max out in a moment, so Max is going to max out. No. Use up a little bit of that here. So we're going to enter the pits from P9, P12. The intermediates are now running faster. We need to make sure we turn this back down to neutral. Both cars in without a mistake. Plenty of ERS. We have recovered our fuel. We're back to a neutral amount of fuel on both cars. And we come out, though, in P16 and P18. That is the downside, is we were not able to make the 1-stopper work. So now we've got it all to do. So now we need to see who is going to have to pit. Savannah might make it. Fuoku's going to make it, but they're behind me. Who in front of me could make it to the end? Well, Leclerc's pitting right now. He'll make it to the end. These guys are all about to pit. So we're going to gain back a lot of time here. Harold's pitting. So P15, P17. We're looking up from here. We are looking up from here. So that's good. What is important is that Mick Schumacher has already pit twice and is on intermediates and is not that far behind Max Verstappen. If I get blue flagged, we are in trouble. A lot of cars pitting right now. So this is really important that we get a good push here. Oh, Herta just got checked up really bad. There we go. P14, P16. Let's check in with Colton, who was checked up by the McLaren. Big time. He got blocked. Okay, we've got to manage these tires. Keep them in the happy zone. P13. And P16 now. And Mick Schumacher still a ways behind. But we're talking about maybe 10 seconds. Once he's caught, he is in trouble. And Newgarden is now in 18th in the Ferrari. Alright, now we have the fuel load at 5 laps to go. We're going to go on to push. 5 laps to go. Nordstrom will pit. Nakashita will pit. Diaz Sanchez will pit. That's 3 positions. That would get us into the top 10. Others, it's going to be close. It's going to be close on whether they pit or not. Ferrari coming close behind Verstappen. By the way, I said Colton's got the better car, should be ahead. Well, where is he? 6 seconds ahead. We have caught the Renault. We are faster than the Renault. He's on used tires. Nakashita also, both of them, they're going backwards. Nakashita's pitting now. Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Come on, come on, come on. Get around him. Get around him. Yes, there you go. P11. The Ferrari has gotten around Verstappen, but with Nakashita pitting, Max has moved up ahead of him. Let's drop you to neutral. And let's do the same thing here. We need to conserve these tires. 3 laps to go for the leader. 3.5 for us. Tires should make it that far. A lot of cars ahead of us are going to hit that proverbial wall. The other Renault, the other Renault is pitting, so Diaz Sanchez goes to the back. So they are out of contention. The Primas are out of contention. That's what I want to see. That is important. But right now, Herta still outside of the points in P11. You know what? I misread. We still have 3 laps to go here. Still have 3 laps to go. Ignore. Ignore. Whew, Max makes it up to P13. We are into the points, P9 and P13, as more cars stop for fresh tires. So holding out as long as we did to make these tires work has done the trick. The leader has 2 laps. We have 2.5 to go. No. We will not push yet. We will not push. Ocon is pitting. P8. And P12. We just used up all of our ERS though. Final lap of the race, but not for us. Where is that leader? He's behind Ocon. Yes? Schumacher? Yes, he is. Alright. Now we push. Now we push. P8. So after the undesired extra pit stop, really ruining the strategy. We are up to P8 and P12. Wow, 1.4 is your current form. What is going on, Max? Overtake. Herta, push it to the end. He's in P8. We'll finish there. Max has a battle here with Nordstrom. Nordstrom's going to win it. Nordstrom wins that battle. Max drops all the way to P14. So terrible form for him. Of course, the guys that passed him were on fresh tires. Mick Schumacher hangs on to win comfortably, 13 seconds ahead of his teammate Lando Norris. So it's a lockout for Mercedes. Great job by them. We do get some points. We do get some points, and that extra pit stop really hurt. I mean, we're talking about an extra probably 15, 20 seconds. We've made up a little bit of time being on the softs and being able to push as opposed to being on the hards. But if the hards lasted as long as we need them to, those 5 laps, which probably would have been another like 4 laps, we would have gone to the intermediates 1, maybe 2 laps earlier and stretched them. So if we're stretching both of those sets of tires, right, we're losing time. We're losing probably 10 seconds. We would have gained 20 if we could have made those tires stretch what we needed them to. So in terms of time, actually it might not even be 10 seconds. It might have been might have been 5 to 10 seconds difference. So, you know, if we add 5 to 10 seconds, we maybe move up a spot. Verstappen definitely would have been higher. He would have been like P11 or something like that, as it was pretty close on those guys who passed him up. So that extra pit stop certainly hurt, but it was necessary. It was absolutely necessary, and it was good that we were able to still get in the points. Timing had impact on that one. Right? I mean, we're looking 5 seconds. Van Doren's the only one we would have overtaken there. But 5 seconds here actually means 10th or even 9th place. Max, no points. Drops to 7th. That hurts. 55 points. Colton does finally get some points. And he actually still drops in the standings despite scoring points. Much needed. As a team, we're at 77 now. So we remain in 5th place. No change in the constructors for anyone. But those 77 points are big. So we are now comfortably ahead of Williams, Renault, Prima, and outside of Prima, everybody's been scoring points. I mean, Renault's got 42, Williams has 48. The fact that we're still ahead of Toro Rosso and McLaren, even though they are clearly faster cars. The anomaly is Force India. Force India is slower than our car, and yet they are 4th place. They, like in real life, keep punching above their weight. And so much of it is that they race after race after race after race have been able to qualify somewhere right around 11, 12, 13th, get tire choice, and then get above the McLaren and Toro Rosso, who are regularly getting 7, 8, 9, 10, and then having to make an extra pit stop. That's also what I'm benefiting from, to go from where we really belong, around 7 or 8, and get up. The Williams, they keep getting hurt from that as well, as they'll consistently get one car into the top 10 and maybe one out of it, and then that one car that's just inside the top 10 has that extra pit stop to make, ends up near the back of the grid. But with that 1-2 for Mercedes, they closed the gap on Red Bull a bit, just 51 points behind. That's still a lot of points, but in the constructors, right, you get a bit of a chance, 43 points per race out of the top 2. But anyway, that's good. We are very much moving up into the midfield now. Not qualifying there, but finishing there race by race. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.